G'day guys and welcome to round 11 of the Barossa Light and Gawler Women's Footy Show. Aisha, we had the week off last week, all for good times and good vibes of the country champs.
It really was.
How good was that weekend?
Such a great weekend. It's always a great weekend of footy. And
Absolutely.
the tournaments just, yeah, it was great.
So good. Again, before we jump in too much, Aish, and get too excited, country champs, massive thank you to all of our sponsors. Again, week after week, letting the show go ahead. The Sample Country Champs, Aish, held last weekend, Newry, Anguston. Weather wasn't ideal for the girls, for the guys.
Not at all.
We had some wet weather footy.
I heard that the wind was chaotic. Cyclone-like, I heard.
It was bizarre behaviour by the weather out there, especially at Newry. Obviously, I worked with the women's team as a trainer, which was really good. I love getting involved. Spending a bit of time there with the girls. And it was amazing. The girls coming away with the win. Flags.
How amazing. More flags to talk about.
I'm overwhelmed. Every time I come on the show, flags, I'm excited. It's been a really great year and season for women's footy, especially, you know, for our Barossa League and a lot of the girls involved. To be able to go as a central zone, mainly Barossa players, a couple from Anglevale, to go and show that our league and our zone is not to be messed with. We took out country champs.
It was great.
Such a great game. And it was really good. Aisha was out, come out and watch as well. It was really good. Got a little picky. Massive thank you to Matt from Long Time as well. Some happy snaps of the day gone up.
Great
really
pictures
great
there.
To keep reliving that. We really appreciate that kind of stuff. Massive shout out to our BLGW players who made Team of the Year of the Champs in Ella Micken, Liz Wilson, Emma Keys and Ellie Ward, with Ribbo, coach from Newry, being crowned Coach of the Year as well, which is amazing.
Fantastic girls.
Absolutely, really good to see a really good contingency of BLGW players being able to show we produce great athletes, great footballers. We love it. And a big shout out to Liz Wilson, who actually took out MVP of the whole tournament, all the teams. Incredible
Amazing, that's
stuff.
a great achievement.
We talk about Liz every week because she kicks a bag down at Williston and she went out there and showed that she's definitely not a name.
Definitely dominated the midfield, so
100%. She was absolutely cracker. And a massive congratulations to Jessie Sanford, who was labelled as the best under 21s in our Central Zone team, and Ella Micken as the best player. Miko, look, I think you're still prime time girl. I really love to see you had a great weekend last weekend, and I know that
some great marks,
incredible
great passages of play,
and really well deserved. She's great for that team. Obviously co-captaining with Taz as well, who we know very well. I think those two and Ribbo really enjoyed the win.
Yeah.
Again, we saw some massive photos, and it was really good to see them really
massive smiles. So
great
really
win.
Good.
So country champs, big success story. We had obviously the week off of our local league, but we jump back in this weekend for our round 11. Aish, another big weekend of footy.
Very exciting. These weeks are flying by.
Absolutely.
Finals getting closer. More flags.
I think, oh yeah, I can't wait. We had South v Williston for round 11, with South kicking 2 goals 2-14 to Williston's 18 goals 13 1-21. Little night game out at Williston. I think the girls are really enjoying pulling those night games. I know that Williston, again, the club really supports them, keeps the bar open, does their sponsors days. Really good to see the support, and it's really good to see the Williston girls being able to be at home and chuck up scores like this. Again, Aisha, I think they're unstoppable.
No, they are. They really are. They're just dominated. Like every week, just more and more.
In and out, absolutely. But South had a great day out of the track. Again, putting a heart and soul in. They got a lot of 16s coming through. I think this exposure is really good for them. South best in Anya Jackson, Nat Power and Kylie Hocking, with good old Nat kicking 2. We love to see it. Nat, she'll be creeping up on the goal kicking now. I think she's had a couple of really good games. So really good to see the support from South for their players and for Nat as well. Kicking 2, Nat. Well done. Absolutely love it.
Couple more next week again.
For sure. We love it. Stats. Williston, again, their best in Yasmin Taylor, AJ Wicello and Lily Bornhold, with Liz Wilson kicking 5. Maybe a little bit stiff to be out of the best, Megsy, but that's right. But AJ kicking 4 as well. AJ has come off the back of country champs last weekend, and she had an absolute field day, being that small forward option, especially with the weather how it was last weekend at country champs. She was able to kick. I think she kicked 4 in our first game at country champs. To come back now and kick 4
just a little weapon.
Absolutely. Consistency is key, and I think AJ brings that week after week. So I think
she's working really hard. I see her down at I Perform all the time, working hard and just wanting to be better, so it's really showing.
And it does show definitely, again, the players that really apply themselves, those like AJ who come through, a younger player on Williston's roster, but definitely not one to kind of look away from. And again, she's already in the best, she's already kicking goals. So I think she's one to watch over the next couple of years for sure.
Very
I think
exciting.
Williston's going to try to hold on to her if she doesn't get quickly, swiftly pulled into the sandful. But again, that's where my better be. We had our second game, Newry taking on Light. Newry kicking 1 point to Light's 13 goal, 11.89. Before we go through the Light list, again, I'm going to list off these names. I think they all had a cracking country champs, a lot of them. I think they had a cracker, and it's the same names for Light we see week after week. Their best in Jazz Ellsworthy, Beck Brading, Summer Birdfidge, with goals, 5 goals to Beck, 3 goals to Sasha Branson, and 3 goals to Scarlett Birdfidge. So the Birdfidge sisters had an absolute pearler out. Beck Brading kicking 5.
I'd be happy to have her back this week.
Absolutely. They missed it last week, and it really showed, again, being able to put up a good score like they did today. Beck Brading back in action, healthy, happy,
ready for finals.
We love it. So I'm sure the girls down at Light are not upset with that performance today. Putting up some good stats, really ready. Again, cementing their spot in finals. I think they're one of the top teams there. Will be putting a little bit of money behind Ash.
Definitely.
Newry had a hard day at the track. I'm sure Ribbo coming off a win, and a lot of those girls, again, there was a lot of support from Newry Footy Club as well, being one of the host grounds for country champs. In their best for Emily Boothie, Nicole Rowley and Jess Shermer as well. Big defensive game for Newry. And we see it week after week, team that's coming up, developing, growing their list, growing their support. I think the next couple of seasons, Newry's going to pick up a couple of these younger girls.
They really will. Their game plan will come along together. Their team, working together.
Absolutely.
They'll learn each other's strengths. So
100%. A lot of them are around, and that's again, the vibes down at Newry are really high. I'm really enjoying seeing the Instagram. So they're chucking social media behind the support. The men's team supporting. They've got great trainers. Shout out to Emily, who was we were ranked country champs, the training team, which is great.
Here you go.
Which is good, really good to see a lot of volunteers. Again, I love shouting about giving them the time of day, because clubs do not run and do not be successful without the support from behind the scenes.
I can confirm Baz is one of the best trainers going around.
Stop it. We're all good, and we all have a bit of time in the high vis. I encourage everybody to jump behind your clubs and support where you can. And we had our last game of the weekend, Tanunda versus Barossa. Tanunda's 1 point to Barossa's 12 goals, 14. Hard day at the track down at Williamstown.
It was a nice day though.
I was going to say
the sun was out.
Sun came out.
Still a little bit cold.
Again, I still wouldn't be taking too many bounces out on Williamstown turf. Again, my home ground, and there's a reason the swimming pool's right next to it, because the water just sits there. But we loved it out there. I did have a little bit of a run around. Again, did absolutely minimal, but the Barossa
couple
girls,
goal assists.
Absolutely. Barossa was very comfortably in the hands, in their best, of Tiana Groveman, Kira Tonkin and Tegan Robbins. Tiana Groveman took 15, 20 tackles at minimum. She
is incredible.
Was everywhere, and she was an
She's
absolute...
a firecracker.
Oh, I could rave about T all day, and I think she's really important for Barossa, being a great captain for them. She's able to really lead that team as well. Millie Farquhar kicking 4 goals, 4 with Peyton Harding kicking 2 as well. Millie had a good day out at the track again, had a little bit of time in forward. Usually she's quite disciplined and in the mids and able to work that ball out, but again, being able to have an option to go forward and coming up with some really good scores there. You can't be unhappy with that
really
one.
Good.
Tanunda's best were in Kima Witra and Hannah Oslansky and Mackenzie Thompson. Tanunda's defence today really held the fort. I think out on that ground it's really hard. Barossa has a great attacking, scoring team, but Tanunda's backlines played to that and went, how are we going to stop this? We'll sit one back, get all the goals that could go across, we're touching them on the line, and I think their pressure there was able to then push it back to the mids. Let their really hard-working mids in the likes of Mackenzie Thompson, they've got Alicia Healy as well, they let those mids do the work to try to get it down the other end. So, hard down the track for Tanunda.
Hard work for the defence, but
absolutely
we've done well, kept them to at least 14 points.
That's exactly right. So you see, again, big points there for Barossa, and a lot of those were touched or rushed over the line, which I think Tanunda's defence did absolutely phenomenal today. So well done out there, girls. Again, another great weekend of footy, and again, we are flying through the rounds. jumping into round 12.
Can't believe round 12 already.
And I think it's going to be a very exciting weekend of footy. First game, Aish. Barossa, Williston, at Williston.
It's going to be a good game. Home game for Williston.
Yep.
But I don't know. I think Barossa.
I like backing the girls, and that's what I mean. Again, Williston has been strong the whole way through. They are at their home ground. They love playing at home. Their crowd gets behind them. The Williston girls are great. But I'm going to put my money behind Barossa as well. I think the girls, again, having a really good win today, we may be able to come up and put a big fight up against Williston.
I reckon. Again,
not to be folded over. Williston are going to come out firing, but I think that is going to be probably the game of the season so far.
Yeah, really looking forward to watching that.
100%. And we've got Tanunda taking on South at South as well. Aish, where are your Chuckies going?
It's a South home game, so I think the girls might enjoy playing at home. So I think that they might have that to their advantage.
Absolutely, yeah. I'll chip behind South as well, actually. I think they're really due for a win here. And Tanunda had a great game today. They're strong, but I think South is going to be really hungry heading into these last weeks around Robin, for sure.
Had lots of time to develop over the start of the season, so hopefully this will be their week and they'll get a win on the board.
Absolutely, we'd love to see it. And we've also got Gawler Central taking on Newry at Williston as well. Big game.
Big game. Williston, I think Gawler Centrals might have this one, just going in.
Absolutely, I think I'm going to jump behind Gawler Central as well. Again, battle of the Tigers down there, so that's going to be a massive game, I think, as well. So really good weekend of footy coming up. Lights kicking the feet up. I think Beck Brady's going to have a well-deserved rest. I think she's kicked about 14 goals in the last 2 weeks. So.
I've seen quite a few bruises from a lot of the country champs girls, so they need the rest.
I'm sure they're all stretching out to kick the feet up. But as we head into these last few rounds, it's so great to see really good footy happening. We can't wait. We're going to jump into round 12 next week. Aish, another good one, mate. We'll see you guys back here for next week.